Hello.
Hello.
Happy Tuesday, October 19th. It's time for Get Real Estate with Liz and Marie. I'm Liz.
And I'm Marie.
And welcome to this week's edition. What we got going on this week, Marie?
Oh, man. So, some crazy things going on here in the Valley, honestly. This article I really liked, we're going to talk about in a minute, but
It's exciting for us.
Zillow is not buying houses right now. So, this is very exciting for us because we are still buying houses here in the Phoenix metro area. So, if you're looking to sell, you want to contact us.
Yeah. So I don't know. That just says that Zillow is still out there, but Zillow was becoming an iBuyer and they were purchasing homes like Open Door, OfferPad. But they put that on pause now for a little while. So it's good for us.
All right. So we'll get into more details about that later. I just jumped ahead. I couldn't help it because it's kind of the title of our blog this week. But the market, what's going on in the market, Liz? You were reading some updates.
Well, it's still a very big seller's market out there. You know, there's some news about forbearances are ending, but a lot of people are still not going to lose their homes during that. So that's good. So it's not going to have this big push of inventory onto the market. So I saw that. We're still extremely low in housing in Arizona, and we still have less than 1 month supply on the MLS, meaning if not a single house went on the market after today, we would run out of homes to sell in less than a month. And that is crazy.
Yes. So inventory super low. And what was it? How much were we down from even last year at this time?
Well, it's how much, you know, the funny thing is how much we're up from last year, which is almost double, but it's still only 7,000 homes, which means last year at this time, the MLS number of houses on the MLS was like in the 3,000 range, which was crazy. So, I mean, and I don't know,
the frenzy was pandemic.
Yeah.
And I think people just weren't listing. People weren't looking at homes. People were, still sheltered down, buckled in.
Right. But those who were buying, they were getting out there and getting some deals because now the prices have gone up so much.
Yeah.
What did you say last week? Like 26% or something?
Yeah. 27%. Yeah. So it's been crazy here in the local market. So the number of actual active listings today in Maricopa County is 7,578. At least it was a few hours ago when I pulled some numbers. So we're up a whole 11 listings from last week, which again is crazy because as Liz was saying, the inventory is low. To really get that market at like an even keel, it should be closer to 20,000. Okay, so we're really low on our inventory. But the median house price really hasn't changed. It's staying pretty consistent overall. Technically, it dropped $3,600, but what's $3,600 when you're buying a $486,000 house? It's nothing. It's a drop in the bucket. Average days on market has been consistent across the board. It's 50 on average in Maricopa County, 68 in some areas and as low as 27 and 33 in some other cities.
Totally consistent.
It's been very consistent and it's pretty crazy. We're just not much has changed in, Phoenix, Scottsdale, Tempe, Chandler, Mesa. Like there's not really big fluctuations happening right now. Even in Scottsdale, we'll usually see these bigger price differences because of just the higher price homes. It's up $9,000 from last week. Like it's nothing. And that's an average, market where houses are selling for $919,000. So again, it's been pretty consistent. The rental market, we did go up a little bit. So we have 57 more rentals than we did last week. So we're over 3,000 now. We've been staying right under 3,000.
And those are the ones listed on the MLS. So obviously there's other.
I'm sure there's
but
for sale by owners and for, rent by owners that aren't listed. But I mean, the median rental price went down a few $100, but in the great grand scheme of things, 3,000 or 3,200 where it was last week is no big change.
One thing that I saw though, that I have noticed that's starting to change is the people trying to overprice their houses. That has dropped a little bit. So if you're going out, and we're especially finding it with some of the for sale by owners that we speak with, that they are trying to get top dollar and they're seeing what their neighbor sold for. Oh, look what my neighbor sold for. So I'm going to list at this.
Yep.
But in the end, they're overpricing themselves and they're sitting for a lot longer.
Yep.
So right now, especially in the fall, and especially with the market that we're at right now, you do not want to necessarily grossly overprice a house.
Yep.
And then because you'll sit longer is the
Yep.
big thing. And you're getting ready to have a house come on the market. And we just had that discussion that,
Yes.
you know, you're not going to grossly overprice it because it
Mhm.
could sit for a while.
I'd rather price it where the market tells me and have a little bit of a bidding war and get over than try and have to come back down and get people discouraged because they're like, oh, they're asking way too much. I don't even want to go look at that property. So yeah, it's interesting to see that the percent over asking, right,
Yeah.
has decreased dramatically. So we were getting way over asking, and that's starting to settle down. So for all you for sale by owners that think your house is worth way more than it is, just be
I know,
watching
and
the
you got to watch
market.
it because the other thing, what will happen is your house will sit longer, and then people will think something's wrong with it.
Yep.
Even if the average sale price, the sale is happening in 12 days, and yours is sitting 45, they're going to be like, 45 days has been on the market. What's wrong with it?
Right.
And it
And
just
they'll
could be
assume it has problems.
overpriced. So I think that's the big thing right now in the fall to watch is not to grossly overprice a house and just watch, you know, might be better off at a bidding market.
Like you're saying, the fall, but in, you know, the winter is really the time where people aren't in a rush to go out and buy a home, right? Everyone pretty much wants to stay in their house for the holidays. And as it gets a little bit chillier, especially in other markets, I mean, I wouldn't mind moving a house here in November. The weather in July, it's too hot to move, but the market does slow down, obviously.
Until after the Super Bowl. Super
Every
Bowl is
year.
the mark of the starting of the spring selling season.
Yeah. So interesting stuff. And like we mentioned earlier, and we want to bring it up again, Zillow right now is not buying houses. You will get a message on their site. Sorry, we are no longer purchasing houses right now.
Your computer's no longer
Your computer, our computer,
which again
is no
let's
longer
just say
purchasing.
that computer people.
Right. That's the biggest difference between selling to someone like Zillow, or someone, I should say, a company like Zillow or OfferPad or Opendoor, right? You are dealing with a company and they are using an algorithm to determine the price of your home. It is computer based. When you sell to Liz and Marie, you get us, right? So big difference. But we are posting the link to the article. It was in Yahoo. It was in Bloomberg. It was in the Phoenix Business Journal. I mean, this is pretty big news.
Well, their
right
stocks
now.
dropped pretty dramatically on Monday when they announced that. Well, almost 10%. So it doesn't mean that it stays that way. And Zillow is obviously still around and doing well. But it's interesting, too, that one of the things that they cited was the labor and supply shortages. And so, you know, it was just time for them to take a pause, I guess. But that just means, you know, we're kind of all experiencing that a little bit.
Yes, they've purchased over 3,800 homes this year, and they need to work on getting them fixed and sold rather than purchasing new homes. So they've just put that on hold as they do have a backlog. Like you said, it's just labor shortages and supply shortages. Everyone in the real estate industry is experiencing that. So interesting that Zillow is on pause right now. So again,
we'll keep an eye on it and see what happens.
And then again, you could check us out and sell to us instead because we're still buying. Our second article here is from AZ Big Media. It was short and sweet, and it's kind of goes along with a lot of stuff that we've been learning and doing, which is exciting. But this article was titled, "Want to Buy a Home? 5 Hurdles and How to Overcome Them," right? So number one, I think, is what's going on everywhere here right now and across the country is staying competitive with cash offers. Right? If you're coming in and you want to buy just a house to move into, how do you stay competitive with these?
And people are like, how do they have this much cash? Here in Arizona, we get so many Californians who can sell a house at such a level and then come over here. But it's so frustrating, you know, to deal with the, you know, that many cash buyers. And so there's some new programs we'll have coming down the road that talks about how to compete with a cash buyer. Yeah.
So there's some things that we will be able to offer. I just passed my mortgage loan originator test, so I will be a licensed mortgage loan officer here soon enough. And then Liz is studying right now too. So that's why this article was actually interesting because it talks about how do you stay competitive with cash, you know, go and get something called either a certified approval letter or a pre-qualification, which is different than a pre-approval, right? You're going through underwriting, you're making sure that you are completely qualified, and they have already looked at your financials, so that as soon as you get that house under contract, you're actually there to close, like ready to go. So that's a tip on that. The second hurdle is navigating debt, right? So you might think that you have a lot of debt, you don't qualify for a house, but that's not true. As long as you figure out how to calculate your debt to income ratio, that's a big thing in the mortgage world. You can totally be a high earner that still has high debt and still qualify. So don't think that just having a lot of debt makes you not qualified.
And I think some of those mortgage companies help you navigate through what you can do to help, put your debt to income ratio at a little bit lower, what to look at and what to do. So don't get
pay
discouraged.
Off some of that debt.
I mean, that's exactly it. My future daughter-in-law just bought a house, and she got a lot of help on, how to do that and what to look for in her debt to income, what to change, and, got a house. So yay.
Yep. And then the next thing is budgeting. And this article talks about, okay, we know it's difficult for you to maybe get on board with budgeting, but there's lots of online tools and apps today, right? And programs that you can use. And then I would say one tip that I didn't even see on here, but it's like, don't go buy a car right before you're going to go buy a house.
Don't go buy anything. Don't even go buy the furniture for your new house. Don't buy the blinds.
Don't go buy a new fridge. Anything that's like over $1,000, like just don't go buy anything. Just get your budget in order, know what you can afford, so that you'll have everything, and you really want to know what those monthly payments are going to be, right? And that you can afford it, you're comfortable with it. So
self-employment, like both of us have.
Yes. So,
but you're navigating through it pretty well. On some
I am. So I'm actually
through.
I'm signing today on some refinances. Thank you, Erin. And self-employment has been a hurdle. It has been difficult, changing from having a W-2 job to being self-employed and having my own real estate business full time. I couldn't believe how many things they ask for and how many things they want verified. So just again, getting over that hurdle is keep good records, make sure you're able to supply your business and personal tax returns. You have balance sheets, you have your current profit and loss, and then the other one was credit history, right? So again, if you have some credit history issues, just look over. A lot of mortgage companies will have a credit repair company on hand, or have those tips and tricks that you can look into. So those were kind of the 5 hurdles that are kind of common right now, especially on mortgage side. And it's interesting because we're going to be offering a lot of these tools soon. So
I know we'll put together, because I think you and I went to a meeting a couple of weeks ago and just got some great information on, putting that list together for the buyer on what they need. And so something that we want to get together and then, give out there to people. Like if you just have this check sheet, it'll make your underwriting process and your loan process a lot easier. So so it's cool.
Yes. Okay. So this week, local,
our feel-good story of the week. Yeah. So we looked that up. So there's a gentleman, and it's interesting because when I read the article, the people on the street, the people that see this gentleman are the ones that got a hold of the news station and asked them to come and check him out. His name is Marco Zapita, and he sells brooms and mops on a street corner. And he even said, I prefer to sell something than just ask people for money. And the neatest thing is he's legally blind, and he has 5 children, and he sells these things on the street, and he pulls his wagon out there every day and sells them on the street. And the people just really like him. He's probably pretty entertaining out there too, I would guess.
I would assume so, because it actually talks about the fact that he takes time to post videos on social media talking about his small business and how, you can come find him on the corner. And
I think it's great. And so we're going to go down the corner the next time and see him and get a broom or a mop. But it's just using that ingenuity. It's not like he says, I don't just want to ask for money. I want to sell something. So I think it's great, So it was the feel good story. So Marie has posted it on here too. So
so you'll see the link. You can read the full story on ABC 15.
Yeah. And then the next big news we have, way go Cardinals. Are you kidding me? We're the only undefeated team in the NFL right now. It's huge, huge, 6-0. So I hope y'all are Cardinals fans out there because you got to support the hometown team. And it is wonderful. And they're doing really, really well. And we just have to be super proud of them because.
So if you watch the Cardinals this weekend, we want you to post a comment below. Let us know that you're fans because Liz is a huge fan.
Yes. I love the sports here.
I know. You
so
go to
great.
all the games.
I don't go to the games so much, but I watch them.
Yeah, but you like recently, like we're at the Diamondbacks game.
Oh, yeah, we have been. And you know what else I read? And you know, the WNBA and the NBA in Phoenix both made it to the national finals. So our women's team, and of course the Suns, on the Mercury and the Suns both made it to the national finals. That is also huge. I mean, here and now we have the Cardinals 6-0. Are you kidding me? Diamondbacks, step it up.
Oh my goodness.
Fun.
So yeah, that's all of our weekly updates this week here in the Phoenix area. And like we said before, Zillow might not be buying houses, but we still are. So
we haven't done that in a while. Let us know how we can help.
That's our thing. Let us know how we can help. So again, check us out, lizandmarie.com/save now. We will give you specific tips and tricks and how you can put $10,000 or more in your pocket when selling your house. Yes. So if you want to learn how to do that, check us out.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
All right. Yeah, it's great.
All right. That's it for this week's market update.
Arizona.
Yes. You usually start with the weather though, and you forgot.
I know, because I was looking outside. It's so beautiful out there. There's not a cloud in the sky. It's like maybe in the low 80s. It's perfect.
It's perfect. I know. I love this time of year because all of a sudden all the neighbors are coming out more and the kids are riding their bikes and playing in the street. And you're like, yes, it's cooled down.
85 degrees is a perfect temperature for me. So,
yes.
Just saying.
I agree. All right. So we wrapped up with the weather this time. All right. So see you guys next week. Check out our blog. You can get all the data that we posted and links to all the articles that we talked about.
Yeah.
See you next week.
Peace
and love. Bye. Bye.